Welcome back to Apio Puzzles, everybody. Today is the 4th of November 2023 and that's a Saturday, and so we have in front of us a Saturday paper and the cryptic from Liam Runnalls, much loved Australian Victorian cryptic crossword setter, also famous for his puzzles under LR in The Age on Tuesdays. This and that puzzle are my two weekly staples in addition to any other content that I make, so keep a lookout for those, particularly for those who are kind of fairly new to cryptics. The reason that Liam's are my staple puzzles is that they are very beginner friendly, so lots of straightforward cluing techniques, very tightly clued as well, and always fun and interesting clues. There'll be the odd curly clue as well that that scratches the old nog for a few seconds, but definitely a way to break into puzzling if you're new to it. The puzzle that you're looking at on screen should, I think, be available to you as well via the link in the description. As far as I can tell, it's available. The Saturday paper makes the current edition cryptic crossword available, so for about a week from today this will be available, and after that it won't be, unless, quick plug, you subscribe to the Saturday paper, in which case you can actually get access not just to their content but also to the back catalogue of cryptics going all the way back to 2014. In the days of Mungo McCallum, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, much loved and respected stalwart of the cryptic scene. Liam took over from him. But today's edition should be available now. You have to enter your email address, but there's no sign-up process. You just put your email address in and you can get going. The only other thing I think I have to mention is that we're rebooting the Cryptic Crossword Club that runs in the kind of inner north of Melbourne. Prior to COVID, it was a kind of once monthly affair in Collingwood, and it kind of disbanded because of COVID, and I thought, why not try and reboot it? So tomorrow is the first edition of that. The venue that we used to use was really cool, and at this stage I don't have access to it, so we're meeting at the Wesleyan in Northcote on High Street at midday in the beer garden. There's a big rectangular table undercover out the back in a corner, so if you're around Melbourne and fancy solving some crosswords and having a chat, then come along. It's a great group, really friendly and social, very beginner friendly, very expert friendly. There'll be a bunch of different cryptics on the table, from DAs through to LRs and everything in between. Pretty low-key affair, so we'd love to see you there. I think at this stage we've got about 10 people who've RSVP'd yes on the Facebook group, so there we go. I think that's all we need to say. I think it's time to try to crack into this puzzle, and I'm going to start with 7 across. Just make sure everything's lined up. It looks like it. Here we go. Too busy for glum conversation. 4 question mark. Okay. Okay. Yep. So this is. I'm just gonna. Rather than delay too much in my processing. If you need to pause, and if you want to think further about it. But the answer to this one is flat chat. So another word for glum is flat. Another word for conversation is chat, and flat chat is too busy. I got that from figuring conversation might be chat, and then the rest kind of followed from there. So 7 down, we've got a long answer starting with an F, and it's 3 words long. Dealing with the consequences of the way a conductor stands, question mark. Dealing with so facing the okay, so this is facing the music. Nice little play there. So to deal with consequences is to face the music, and a conductor of an orchestra faces the music. That's the way they stand. Lovely, and a good start. Tavern concerned with large keg. I feel like that might be an anagram of tavern, although is a vatern a keg? Wouldn't surprise me. Like a vat is obviously a word, and so could it be that? I'm not sure about that, or maybe we'll check once we've got some crossing letters. Let's try 10 across. And RACV miscommunication about a mobile home. Yeah, so that is going to be caravan. So ANRACV is 6 letters, and all of those letters are in caravan. So we need an extra letter. So miscommunication is an anagram indicator. So we rearrange ANRACV, and we put it about or around a single A. So it gives us the extra A in the middle for a mobile home being a caravan. This is not whatever it was I said, although it does still look like an anagram. So let's have a look. 12 across. Many Londoners carry this material. So this is going to be nylon. So this is a hidden clue. The word carry is telling us that the term just before it actually carries inside of it, directly spelt in order, the word nylon. And so that gets us the answer. Now this actually isn't an anagram because tavern doesn't have an L in it. So tavern concerned with large keg. Oh, okay, so this was not that complicated if I thought a bit more about it. A tavern is a bar. Concerned with is RE. I actually was thinking about RE and thought, oh no, the A, I was thinking if tavern was the definition, then concerned with would be RE at the start, but we had an A in place. But no, tavern is bar, RE is concerned with, L is the abbreviation for large, and keg is a barrel. So this looks very gettable. Rummage through, yeah, so this is going to be, I know the answer, the bin with senior counsel to inflict justice. So I'm going to put the suspected answer in and then work backwards for the wordplay. Rummage through the bin is to scavenge, with senior counsel, SC, to inflict justice, and avenge is to inflict justice. Okay, powering along here. Exchange rolled cigarette with sweetheart. Rolled cigarette with sweetheart. Exchange. Trade. Oh, okay, yeah. So a synonym for cigarette is dart, and if we roll that, we turn it around, we get trad, and then sweetheart is the E, the heart letter of sweet, central letter of sweet. Okay, 15 down. Surprises America's first couple, George and Barbara. Very nice. So I was just thinking, I often forget to pay attention to the surface reading, and of course it's a topical kind of thing. George and Barbara were indeed the first couple in the bushes. Surprises America's first, that might be the A, couple, George, and so, oh, okay, so this is indeed a reference directly to the word bushes. So America's first couple is the first couple of letters of the word America, A and M, and then George and Barbara were the bushes, making ambushes for surprises. 18 across. I was repulsed by dog noise beginning. So this is going to be embarking. So I is me, and that is repulsed, which is put backwards to give me M, and then a dog noise is barking, and beginning is embarking. 23 across. Results of filling teacups hot stuff. Results of filling teacups hot stuff. So this is another hidden clue. So the answer is upshots. And we can see the word filling here is telling us to take the filling of this teacups hot stuff, and if we look, that's actually spelling directly in place the word upshots, which are results. Those hidden clues are tricky because in theory they should be real easy, the answer's right there, but you have to recognize that you're looking at a hidden and not be trying to find all sorts of other word plays. Apprentice, that is propping up castle, 19 down. That is, okay, yeah, so this is going to be rookie. That is abbreviates to IE, id est. That comes up all the time in cryptics, and it's tricky. It's a tricky one for beginners, I think, because you see that is and think, oh, that's just filling, it's just grammatical filling for the clue, but actually that is wordplay for IE. And a castle in chess is a rook, and an apprentice is a rookie. And that IE is propping up, that is, it's holding the word rook above it. So 25 across. Barefaced, fib by Erica, leaving Charlie in European Peninsula. Okay, so it looks like Iberia. So barefaced fib is the word fib without its facing letter. So that's ib. Erica is leaving Charlie. So the word Charlie abbreviates to C in the phonetic alphabet. So if Erica leaves the C, it's just E-R-I-A, and we get Iberia. Okay, moving along, 3 down. Bread maker's student lacked leadership. So bread maker is a baker, but student lacked leadership. So quite a few different things that are coming to mind, but nothing in terms of an answer. I think it's a word for student without its first letter, I would think, and the final answer is a bread maker. But what is a bread maker if not a baker? And what's a student? 7 letters long. Student can be L and P as well for like student drivers. It's probably easy, this one, but it's not coming to mind. So let's not dawdle. 13 across. Just notice my neighbour's cat prowling around outside, and if I open my door, it just helps itself. It wanders in and just rummages through the apartment into every nook and cranny. Rogue agent with mug brewing tea. I don't have any letters here actually. So rogue agent with mug. I feel like it's going to be that rogue is an anagram indicator. So I'm going to rearrange agent and mug, but that's not enough letters. An agent can be rep. Mug could be cup. Reprobate. Is that a rogue? So rep for agent. To mug is to rob, as in to steal. And brewing tea is an anagram of T for ATE. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to come back to that 3 down because I don't feel any happier about the R and the N there. Except this is probably an E, but we'll come back to it. 9 down. Cut into spot unprofessional. Cut into spot unprofessional. It feels like this might also be. No, it's not. No. Moving along. Timber industry record keeping. So record's often EP or LP. Record keeping. So industry would have a record inside of it. Industry, trade, timber. No, I'm not seeing anything. Garment due to tailor around 10. I assume that's 10 across. Caravan. So garment due to tailor around caravan. So tailor could be the verb to tailor, so to cut or change or something like that. A garment due to so I think due to is just a joining thing around this caravan. What's a short word for a caravan? Suddenly run into some roadblocks here. Recklessly eager with weapon blasting hog. Blasting hog. So this is going to be gung ho. So a weapon is a gun, and if we blast hog, we rearrange it to get the GHO for gung ho. There's some interesting crossing letters there as well. But let's try for some more here. Elton John originally glared in frustration. So glared in. So yeah, okay. I've got a feeling this might be something to do with Elton John's original name, because I don't think that was his original name. And it's going to be anagram. Is it going to be an anagram of glared in? Or is it the original letter G in a word for frustration? In any case, if it is the original name of Elton John, I'm not going to have much luck, am I? Or did he have another musical persona? I'm not sure. Let's see. Actually, let's try to get the last letter of that. That might help. Terminate Oscar, O for Oscar normally, by Wednesday, and provide stipend. So this is going to be endow. So terminate is to end. Oscar is O in the phonetic alphabet, and Wednesday is W abbreviation. And to provide a stipend is to endow. That D there continues the possibility of an anagram. Yeah, I wonder if I'm going to be able to get that. So 6 down rather. Stuttering words, perhaps. This looks like it might be tricky because there's not a lot going on words wise, so it's probably some sort of a oblique cryptic definition. Stuttering woes, perhaps. We've got a W in there. So 14 letters, which is how many letters? So stuttering woes is 14 letters. Perhaps we'll suggest it's an anagram of those 14 letters, and the exclamation mark is telling us that the whole clue is the definition, so it will be a kind of self-referential thing. Stuttering woes. So what's before the W? An S or a vowel or a T maybe? I'm gonna try to get some other letters. Garment due to tailor around. I don't think 10 is 10 across. Yeah, so this is tuxedo. One thing, sometimes crosswords will have a number like 10, referencing 10 across or 10 down. Other times they'll say 10 across to make it clear. And I think that the latter is the better, because otherwise you're left kind of with this ambiguity of like, is this the number 10 to be clued in some way, or is it referring to 10 across? So 10 in this case is the Roman numeral for 10, which is X. And if we tailor due to, we rearrange those letters and put it around the X, we get a garment, which is a tuxedo. So those crossing letters aren't the most useful because they're vowels. Let's try 11 across with our G in place now. Timber industry, record keeping. So timber industry. So it's just going to be the timber industry probably. Logging. So, right. So that's a double definition. So nothing to do with EPs or LPs. The timber industry is the logging industry, and record keeping is logging, keeping logs of things. So that wasn't too tricky after all. Okay, so cut into spot unprofessional. Well, it feels to me as if, oh yeah, I know what this is. So the lop is what stood out to me as a word for cut. And if we put that inside a word for spot, which is to spy, if you spy something, you spot it, you get sloppy, which is unprofessional. That gives us an easy 16 across, hopefully. Jan escaped Japan with yen, wage. Very nice. So that's just pay. So the word Jan is being taken out from Japan to leave just the P and the A. An abbreviation for the yen is just the letter Y, and that gets us pay, which is wage. 16 down. Clergyman, medals with cross. So it looks like priest. Medals with cross. So, well, medals is prize, and a cross is a T. not sure why cross is T. I don't know if I've seen that before. In some sense, a lowercase t is kind of a cross, but unless I'm missing something there, that's a curious one. Any thoughts? 20 down. Leave very detailed direction for control. So probably go for leave, very detailed. So detail for control, govern. So go is leave. Very detailed is the word very without its final letter. No, that's tail. For VER, direction is N for north, and control is govern. Opening letter in the V should be useful. Opposing, that's a V for versus. A politician, that's an A and an MP. With fury, which is ire, and that is a monster, a vampire. So that's a nice easy solve. 17 down. Oversized, that's often OS. European, often E or EU, has average house without walls. So house without walls would be OUS probably. This is going to be, I think, enormous. OUS at the end is the house without the walls. Oversized is enormous. European is E. Average is norm, and so put that all together. 21, liberal abandoned corals, struggling sea creatures. So the liberals abbreviates to L, and that L abandons the word corals for CORAS, which is then struggling, so it gets rearranged, and we get sea creatures, which are orcas. 22 down. This tool could help if snails eat lettuce heads. Looks like beginning letters. So this is CHISEL. Okay, oops. So the head letters of those words could help if snails eat lettuce. CHISEL, which is a tool. So closing in now. 26. Slacks and shirts stimulate Republican Chief of Staff. Looks like trousers for slacks. A shirt is a T-shirt, that's a T. Stimulate Republican. Rouse is stimulate. Republican is R, and Chief of Staff is the chief letter of staff, which is the S. Okay, so surely now we'll get something here. 6 down. Stuttering woes, perhaps. Oh, indeed, tongue twisters. That's a beautiful find. Some of these anagrams that people find that are so, I think the word's aptogram. So what a perfect anagram of tongue twisters, stuttering woes. I think I might have seen that actually before now because I'm sure he won't be the first person to have discovered that. Or indeed he might have used it in another crossword one year. 5 down. Elton John originally glared in frustration. So we've still got the potential for an anagram here of glared and in. So we've got left G, L, R, and N. G, L. So this would be is this Reginald? I think that's Reginald. And that was indeed his original name. So our baker, or bread maker, student, lacked leadership. Oh, okay, nice. No, yeah. So that is a kind of misdirected definition there. Bread maker is not a baker, but in fact somebody who makes money for a family. So the bread maker of the family is the earner. A student is a learner, and its leadership is lacking. So the L gets chopped, and we get earner. Oh, and it's telling me I'm not quite right. Is that what that says? Have I typed something wrong? Ooh, this is interesting. This is annoying. I don't know if I've just typed something wrong somewhere, or if I'm if I've got no, it's very unlikely to have an answer completely wrong, given that everything fits together. Flat chat, Barry. barrel, scavenge, earner, reprobate, sloppy, logging, tuxedo, trade, pay, endow, embarking, orcas. I was concerned about this priest, but how could it not be priest? A clergyman is a priest, medal is prize. There's no other final letter that could work, except cross doesn't really mean T, at least in my experience. Ah, dang, what have I done? Well, let's take out those letters for a second. To meddle is to pry. It has to be priest. And if it wasn't, what's the cross meaning anyway? Because you're not putting an X at the end. Unless the whole thing means cross and there's some other play going on. What's the likelihood of prize appearing in there? Clergyman, so it's just a singular. Oh, you're messing with my solve time, man. Well, I'm not going to waste time, I think, searching, because I've looked and I can't see a typo, so I might just might not have noticed it, and I can't see that that's not right. I'm just going to, oh, now it doesn't actually let me, oh, that's interesting. You can't actually check. Ah, now, let me just make sure. I'm just going to pause and make sure I'm logged in here. Well, I have no idea. I can't check any of those, click any of these. I am logged in. The crossword seems to me to be correct. It's telling me not quite, which I'm a bit confused by in itself, because at what point did it decide to tell me that? So let me just load up the puzzle. I'll pause another second. Okay, well, I can't figure it out. I checked on Elton John's original name. That is Reginald, so there's no problem there. I think it must be an error in the paper. I think maybe their solution is inaccurate. I'm not sure, and the only concern I have is this priest, which I don't see why cross and T are the same thing. I mean, I guess the cross in the sense of this is a T shape. That must be what that is. Just don't think I've seen that play before. But everything seems right, so I don't know what to tell you. We'll see. If you know what's wrong, let me know. But I don't want to waste any more time here. So thank you very much for playing along with me. I hope that was informative. And I'll be back on Tuesday for certain with another LR, possibly beforehand with other things. I've got my clues of the day that come out most days on Shorts. And another plug actually for a 20-minute kind of walkthrough that I did of a David Astle puzzle. I'd pre-solved it and then walked through my solve path to save you the excruciating pain of me solving it live. Although it was actually a quick solve at the cafe. It was the quickest DA I've ever done in about half an hour. So it's got some really nice clues, and some of them will be coming up in the clues of the day as well. Otherwise, follow on Twitter at Apio Puzzles. Of course, subscribe on here if you're wanting to see more of this content. It's really fun seeing the occasional subscriber pop up. And I've got a few different ideas for ways to expand the channel moving forward. So hoping that over time I can get a bit of an audience and make all of that really worthwhile doing. Thanks again, and hopefully I'll see one or more of you at the club tomorrow at the Wesleyan midday, And otherwise, until next time on the channel, happy cluing.